10 months ago, a team of Mappool selectors, charters, and playtesters embarked on a long, tedious journey to create 105 charts that the over 300 plus registrants to this tournament have enjoyed. On the biggest edition of Oceania 7K World Cup, we have another set of 19, the 19 charts that will determine the order of the podium. Welcome to the Grand Finals Mappool Showcase. I am SurfQ85, and alongside with me in the commentary booth is Mifa.
Hello, everyone, and once again, we're reaching to the tail end of the, at least end of the week. Definitely for well, a lot of us, definitely the last Mappool showcase that are going to be, at least being shown for on stream as well. Since it's been a tough and a wild journey for everyone involved, especially for the Mappool team and then the teams that are participating in the 7K World Cup. It's been quite a journey to get here, and now with the three teams remaining in the grand finals, it's going to South Korea, Philippines, and also Japan being the sole survivor of the two matches that they had to endure against, I believe it was China
China
and
and
Indonesia. There you
yeah,
go. So
congratulations.
yeah, it is absolutely insane. And knowing that's also the first time Japan went into the podium spot for 7 key, which is
Yep.
an impressive feat. So you got some bragging rights on you, but they're not done yet since they have one more map pool there. So they gonna have to face Philippines, and once they have beaten Philippines, they're gonna go to beat South Korea, which is it's a very tall ask to do.
Yeah, and especially that South Korea has the twice to beat advantage going into the grand finals weekend by virtue of not losing a single match in the bracket. Though there is some history made because the Philippines did manage to end around 30-ish point streak that lasted from the finals weekend of last year's 7K World Cup. They managed to end that on Korjak's like a few hours earlier. So who knows really what's gonna happen, because I feel like we're up for a very wild ride next weekend. But anyways, speaking of a wild ride, we did look into the pools before we went into the showcase, and
Um,
I am
I have one word. I have one word to
yeah,
describe it.
okay,
It's death.
yup. Can we bring it back? Can we take it back? MWC 4K 2015. Everyone was saying, can we stop the keyboard abuse? Can we
It
take
is.
that? Can we do that again?
Hey, I mean, okay, okay, let's run it back. We get to see Oceania 7K World Cup 2017, where the
Oh,
pool wasn't exactly like organized
yeah.
to the degree to this point, and everyone is like meshing around A ranks, 93%, 94%, maybe even barely S ranks,
Yep.
except for maybe one team that are just
Open.
completely out of their league. It's just completely kind of like swept around like just like the ocean, and we're at here right now. I think we might be at a point where they are struggling to get S ranks maybe.
Maybe, but we're talking about extraterrestrials. Their abilities are beyond our mortal our human impressions. Well, anyways, I think we've hyped this showcase enough. Let's start with Rice One.
Okay, the first death that we are going to be seeing right now, we get Rice 1, Volan Fate Fantasia by Vita Crush. This is our Rice 1, mainly speed pick, but also this is on the technical route. It is quite disgusting, to say the least. We've seen this a
Oh,
little bit.
I remember, like, we were looking into the pools. Okay, for the record, I forgot the map codes for each chart, so I went into this like I was here, like we were listening to the music. Wait, is this Rice 6? Is this Rice 5? But no, this is Rice 1. And then I remember it was mentioned that the speed picks have been going on a more technical approach, and you're already seeing some of it with some of these mini jacks. But you'll see a few moments from now, you're gonna see these super, super long stairs, broken stairs, like super fast patterns. We're clocking it around 222 BPM, and that's just the BPM. This is like 222 1/6.
It is 222.16, but I think most of them, at least you get some sporadic 1/8, which is equates to 440 BPM, and that is goes to say the least. That I think the patterns by itself are just at least it's sweep heavy, not as at least disgusting transition wise. But at least you get some breaks like this one. You're gonna appreciate breaks more than like in the finals Mappool.
There are some parts there where the streams do kind of go against the flow of the overall chart. So you kind of have to be super careful with those kinds of things. And not to mention, this is a really short pick at clocking at 2 minutes 15 seconds. What was that mini jack after that chord? I did not remember that from our first watch.
So not only have you got 1/8, you got some 1/16 as well.
Yeah.
So that's just about 900 BPM tops. Just an approximation.
Like we're talking we're talking BPMs, speeds that kind of incomprehensible for 7K standards, I'd say. This is like we're going beyond the convention that we had from last year or from the previous years, and that's the first pick. That's the first death
Yep.
out of the 19.
Yep. Yeah. I'll move over to you. The first core stream pick.
Next one is a complete 180-degree turn from our previous song. We have Slack's Kazusa, and this is a cut version, a chart by Maple Syrup. This is our dense chord stream pick, though I'd say that at least the intro might not look as brackety as you would have expected, but then once the brackets come in, they come in like a truck.
Also, 3 minutes. Rarity for dense core string to be this long, but when you get to the core string later on, it's Love Justice-esque kind of patterns, except maybe slightly easier.
Like this kind of is reminiscent to Love and Justice from 3 years ago. Like at least from how this chart is being approached, we're seeing a bit more of these chords. Like this is just one half. This is like effectively like 105-ish for those chord jacks. So a little bit of time to recuperate accuracy because here you go. When I said the brackets hit you like a truck, here it is. You're just getting struck by a truck.
It is a journey because 3 minutes is you have to contend with chords after chords, and then you get blasted again with just bracketing. Like these are 5-note chords minimum at some degree.
And like this is again, you mentioned this is 3 minutes, so there is a substantial amount of breaks here. So not gonna be as harsh. But like if your hands are shaking, I wouldn't be surprised if you'll miss somewhere in these single notes.
You get breaks. You get more breaks than your typical Rise 2 or Core Stream, but that's not saying very much. Because you get like blasted once again with these more split bracketing.
Yeah, like this is like triple stairs. Like full on denim patterning on this chart. And like we're not even at like the harshest patterning here.
I forgot we're playing 7-key Osmania, not checkerboard, not chess or checkerboard patterns like those.
They like at this point it might as well be a chessboard of some sorts. All right, here we go.
Oh, there goes this.
Yeah, this is the densest section. Like even a replayer here is struggling to maintain their combo. I wouldn't want to be in the player's position right now.
No, not in their player shoes. Nuh-uh. even then, the outro, you still gonna keep doing this.
Oh my gosh! Like if your stamina isn't shot at this point, it might as well be.
Yeah, well, 210 BPM, so that's a 15 BPM increase just about from Kairu from like Finals Mappool, and substantial BPM increase. But what's more substantial is Rise 3. We're gonna get Cortex Charger by Aqualex, 270 BPM core stream. We're stealing for Kimini World Cup 2023 again, and let's say these are the BPM is just way wilder.
Like in a way, this is more reminiscent of your classic kind of Rice ones that we've seen in previous World Cups. This one is less technical because I feel like this is a less technical Rice one, but in a way, it's also a hybrid with, like, it's a cross between Rice 1 and Rice 2, I'd say.
Oh, it is. It is definitely that, for sure. But I think if you remember Ziggurat's distribution from like the 7K on 2024, which is at 280 BPM, this is pretty much the same kind of thing, except that one is speed, and that one right there, diamond shaped patterns.
I hate those symmetric patterns so much. Like they're already so hard to hit on slower BPMs. How much more of this? And then they're transitioning into a what is practically a double stare into these super fast bursts. It doesn't end.
You don't get any breaks. Let's say that. I think. I mean, we haven't seen this one in particular, but yeah, you're gonna have to do this the entire way through without having any sort of breaks. There's a polyrhythmic section there.
Oh my god. Yeah, like if you're looking into this chart, I suggest, like, if you are studying these charts, you look into the editor because these charts are so intricate. Like they're very intentional in their patterning, I'd say.
At the very least, the density is not that not as high as like the Rise 2, which is very typical for fast core stream. But if you take into account breaks, maybe this would be harder than Rise 2.
Yeah. Normally, you'd expect like a comfier patterning on Rise 3, but this doesn't look comfy at all.
Yeah, well, going from 245 to 270, yeah, well, good luck about that.
Oh my gosh. And then here comes like the ending burst!
Oh, there you go, more diamond shape patterns, and there you go.
Yep, and that's Rise 3, lady. That's Rise 3, guys.
Third death, moving to the fourth death.
We have Cygnus, Graduation from the World, more like Graduation from the MWC, a chart by esteemed Mappool selector who's currently out, who isn't able to join us, Tails DK. Oh my gosh. Can I say something? I remember looking into the thread of this chart while this was being reviewed. Everyone was like, I remember just seeing like, oh my gosh, this has to be adjusted. This has to be worked on a lot, especially that Tails wanted to maintain as many of these anchors as possible that you're seeing right now.
We're not entering the 3-node jack anymore. We're actually hitting anchors now.
This feels like a wackier TLD of something. At least from what I remember seeing this.
Well, it's 140 BPM, so even though it's a 5 BPM jump, but you're definitely gonna need that some sort of focus, and that focus being not having bad chainings everywhere.
But like, what I'll tell you is that like, every pattern here, as far as I know, is telegraphed very well. It's just most of the start is just gonna try to do your execution very well.
Oh, there goes the burst.
Oh yeah, the burst.
Density ramps up.
Yeah, that's a funny burst. Like, and if you miss that, you're gonna have a hard time transitioning to these. Oh yeah, there you go. It's speaking of transitions. Speaking of transitions.
Yep. you get some simpler blue traces as kind of notes there. But if you if anyone remembers of that, at least Overjoy, some sort of a chart like that, I think blue traces fits the bill for that.
Man, like this doesn't. This ending is so ominous, man. Like
Well,
if everyone's like breaking their combo in that section, I feel like this pool's one of these pool's intention is not only to bring death to the players, it's also designed to bring death to the commentators as well.
death to the commentators, and that's also the fourth death, being Korjak. Moving on to the fifth death, this is not Sakura by Mitch Downwell, by Tells, and let me say just straight out outright, even though this is not Rise 6, you get some Rise 6 shenanigans in here as well.
Yeah. By the way, I remember like when we were looking into the pools together, like just try to rehearse for the showcase without context about what the picks are, especially at the Rise. We thought this was the Rise 6 or the EX1. Yeah. Double thumb, double thumb pattern right there.
Yeah, sorry, you're not getting a 990 on this one, damn chief.
I don't think anyone goes into the grand final this week with the expectation of 990 anything.
Well, it's just how it is. Rise 5, 3 teams remaining. They can play this for sure, but to what degree the skill ceiling are gonna be?
Also, by the way, this is just 6.68 stars. This is the same star rating as your usual marathon ranked map set that a lot of us would PP farm on no mod because because if we cannot do no mod on the higher SR stuff, we tend to half time it and they usually fall within this SR. This is within PP farm range for 4 digits XD.
It is. Most likely just hybrid LN stuff and whatever that is, and it's just effectively what 7 key players have to do at this stage. And keep in mind, even though this is 2 minutes, this is effectively less than 2 because you can see the score right now.
Yeah, that person. Everyone's gonna core drill that. Oh yeah, just a few single notes. Surely you wouldn't miss here. Surely now.
Well, at this point, when the lead is still undone, you're gonna get to see every team score. So whether you're close or not, your hands are shaking so hard after that.
Yeah, that one LN as well.
Now,
try
if that wasn't
try
death,
not to. Try
if
not
that
to
wasn't
miss that.
if that wasn't death enough, take it away for Rise 6.
We have Kaiten Daentai Tokinori Yosen. A chart by Yi. This one had to be worked on a lot of times. Oh my gosh! It's this note soup! This is just note soup! For Rise 6! By the way, this is not the original version of this chart. There is some harder version of this chart. And honest to goodness, you should look at it as well. Because this is wild enough.
I don't know if I can spoil the scores that we've seen prior. I think before this was rework, I think the replayer, I think Chiwi got like 93%, which just kind of says a lot of how much this is being nerfed.
Yup. This is the nerf version. So also like I feel like this, at least like talking about the chart, like this chart is divided into like 3 or 4 sections of just like note soup, and then you get a few seconds break, and then another note soup, and then break, and another note soup. Like this one features a lot of double thumb big chords with lots of these bursts. Some of these spacebar jacks even look like something you'd have to do with 2 thumbs alternating. Like this is just a funny chart.
It's a funny chart. I mean, everything is just it's just off the rails, but well, you haven't seen the worst of it yet. That's not even the worst part.
Yeah, here comes the last of the rice soup. The rice soup? More like porridge, actually. Let's just
Oh,
call
there
this
goes.
short porridge. Oh yeah, there you go. By the way,
I mean,
look at
there's
the left
that
hand.
one.
Look at the left hand for a sec. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Left hand.
Yeah,
Watch the left
left
hand.
hand. There you go. Yep. Yep.
No one's gonna combo that.
And that's Tokinori Olsen. And that is Rice 6. All right, for the next one, you
Rice.
do
Yeah.
you do it, Mifa.
Yep. Yep. Six death and moving on to the seven death, and I don't know actually because seven death. I think it's mostly the stamina rice pick, but then I think we could just get into it, and I'm not sure how players are gonna take this.
As far as I know, it's like the easiest rice pick in the pool, as what you would expected for Rice 7.
Oh yeah, let's just get into it, and we'll see what happens. That was a chart, Primordial Complex by Celtics, charted by three people, Tangjun, Blocko, and Kobe. That is our Rise 7 consistency stamina check of a pick. Absolute, absolute. That's absolutely insane to think that this is. We have gone a long way to introduce Rise 7 and be introducing Celtics as the final piece of the puzzle of knowing Baryogenesis was like last 2 years even at this point. I
Yeah.
was gonna mentioning the quick shoutouts to the credits here. We got illustrators Creameries and Kylarius, graphic designer by Muchi, or well known being as Muka, storyboard designers by Reaction, design quality assurance by Narekat, Alex Dung, Low Graphics, and Polytetral, video and design coordinated by Sakura006, and of course, you shown in the replay right there is by Chiwi, and it's absolutely a banger to see. Now we're actually going to get to see this pick for the grand finals.
Remember what I said a few moments earlier, like before the chart start? This is technically this should in theory be the easiest pick of the rice pool. I take that back.
No,
I take
280
that back.
BPM. Well,
280 to
BPM.
400.
There goes the if you thought Cortex Charger was 270 BPM core stream, yeah, we'll jump it right back up to 280.
Yeah. Yeah, because Rice 3, you mentioned Rice 3 last year was like 280. So we gotta have 280 somewhere here.
All
All right. So to start the Ellen pool, let's throw it back to 2007 with Motteke Serafiku, the opening theme to the anime Lucky Star. This is a chart by Yi, and this is our Timing Hell Ellen release pick.
It is a 2007 throwback. Once again, if Kanazuki no Miko was 2 decades back at this point, we're now actually releasing the Timing Hell for 7 key.
The song choice for this song, the song choice for this chart is like definitely showing who's the boss of 7K, I'd say, or I'd just say like the age group of 7K players.
Well, it is average age of 7 key is just at this point they all have actually aged.
Yeah, there's some meme posted in the MWC server that shows like the age difference between the 4K and 7K players. But anyways, let's talk about the chart first before we do that. If when I said Timing Hell Ellen release isn't enough of an explanation, I think the last few moments I've already shown it. Also, these staccato LNs, if you're using a particular note scheme, you might see them as rice. You have to be super careful with the release timing for those staccato LNs because that's an easy gold 300 instead of a rainbow 300, for example.
It is also comes with a caveat. Even though OD6, which is a little bit on the higher side, usually you would associate LN release being like OD5 range, 5 to 6, maybe higher on the higher side of things. Staccato LN's running at the 1/8 LN length of an LN, and also this is also 4 minutes, which is you have to do this entire way through.
Like 4 minutes is enough for me to ask, or for the players to ask each other, what side of a chocolate cornet do you eat first? The opening or the end or the end of the cone? Which part? I'm asking you. I'm asking the chat as well.
Well, at least for me, you get to eat them all. Opening or ending wise, you're gonna eat them anyway.
I think how everyone's just responding to that. Anyway, so we're seeing some of these 8-bit, actually not 8-bit, this is more like a 32-bit patterning here. You have to be super careful with executing these stairs, because like the amount of control you need to not overstream that section is really, really immense. And now here comes like some of these really funny shields.
Yeah, the offset, not non-offset full LNs. You get some gaps in between there are not full LNs.
Also, my gosh, this break section. Or let's say the interlude. Not break section, it's interlude. Oh my god.
No, no break section in this area, man.
Okay, this is the effective break section. Just a
Effectively,
little effectively.
relative in comparison to every insanity of a death we just seen. Even though this is classified as a LN death number 1.
Okay, so here comes like stuff that you would see as Rice, but these are definitely LN.
To a degree, it is all LNs, but then you get to see this more action of a sweep-ish kind of. Yeah, it's just everywhere. You're gonna have to time this in some way.
Oh my god. Also, by the way, since this is a 4-minute pick, I know the charting here is like stuff that the players in remaining would really like, but the 4 minutes here might be a factor in case like they want to ban something or something like that. Especially LN1 tends to get get the boot off the polling strategy in a way. Something
I mean,
something for everyone to think about. Yeah,
it's not the worst for sure, but
surely.
there are some definitely well placed bets elsewhere. Maybe for the second death of an Ellen pick right now, we are going to be seeing "Down for You" by Ice Sauter. This is charted by My Angel Koishi. I like to think that if you thought Ellen coordination wasn't core jacky enough, this may be the one for you.
Lots of heavy chord usage for both LNs and actually full on rice chords in some of these sections. But the rice chords here come in a certain package that we would like to call shields. And here comes the shield.
Effectively just act destroyer at this point. Even the gas are tied as well.
The pattern here reminds me of Sarsam and Spoof Pack. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, yeah.
If you know, you know.
Oh man.
Like man, this
At
is crazy.
At least you get some winding down, but then even you don't get so much of a at least some rest. Yeah, you get some shields everywhere, even at this like sort of an interlude.
Oh my gosh, like already players already struggling to combo through the section. Like the amount of notes that you have to try to decode, and there's some wacky there's some wacky timings as well. Oh my gosh. Bro, these are not.
Oh no, the column 6-7. Oh no.
Oh no. The outer columns, well, you have to be super careful with them. There's 1-2 as well. You have to be super careful with this chart.
What is my Angel Koishi's thinking when making the shields, man?
Like, this is Poopak. This is Poopak patterning right there.
Oh man. At least this is the one that you actually have some degree of sharpshooting. If you, and then by sharpshooting, that's not saying much because of the shields.
Okay, so here comes now here's like the effective break section. Like just a little bit of respite for your hands, but you kind of still have to hold on to your keyboard.
Boy, oh boy. Oh, there you go. There goes more shields if there wasn't already.
Like a combination of full-on shields and reverse shields. And some of these are basically mini jacks at this point with how they're executed. How they're executed. There we go.
It's just wild to see that we're actually coming from Peach Pit and Cyanide to this, which is effectively just even harder than we saw earlier in the finals Mappool. But death number 2 of an LN pick, that is. To death number 3.
Which we are going over the top. A chart by any. This... Oh my gosh, I remember when we looked at it. When we looked at this chart, I feel like we almost thought that this was hybrid. We almost did.
Well, you did, but I already thought of it as like I almost thought it's like LN4, but straight up.
We know it was a different pick, but then, anyways, this chart has a lot of LN streams. Some of the density here kind of looks like this is going to the inverse direction for some directions. But here comes like some of these a bit of a coordination heavy chord stream LN section that's like amount of control. The amount of control you are required to do so is very immense. And the reading ability as well is something gonna be
Oh
tested for
yeah,
this entire chart.
yeah. That's the part that I really thought it could have been like LN4, but apparently it's not.
Now here's some sort of a break section.
So I
Against
mean, this is the only break section.
yeah. Have to be careful with the staccato LNs as well. Oh, those sweeping
the
LNs.
Nasty burst.
And now here comes like the densest section of this chart, where
There's no
it's
stopping
basically
after this.
yeah. A lot of the rice notes that you saw from like the intro chord stream section become LNs now here, and if there is rice, they're gonna be super intrusive, very intrusive and abrasive river shields.
The densest section comes right here. It's just all hell breaks loose in terms of Rise again.
Oh yeah, that ending burst, and then here comes like, oh yeah, you have to be careful with that ending pattern.
Ending pattern is really. Castle said, shout out to Daily Game, by the way. Still FC on that
Yeah.
LN3.
That's what I'm. So okay, guys. Some of the okay, guys. This just proves that the grand finals pool is still FCable.
It is still FCable, but moving on to death number 4. This is Hemisphere by AR Forest. If you know Dynamics, you know. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me personally. This is your LN inverse. LN4. This is completely full inverse.
Well, full Ellen inverse. Yeah, just to say something for those who are not aware what inverse is. It's basically you're expecting like a rice chart, a normal rice chart, but then now make all of the rice notes holds and make all of the gaps between the rice notes into just an entire hold section. That's why it's called inverse. This is basically an entire rice chart that is inverted.
Also, this has just about the same BPM as the. Well, I guess you can comparatively say that this maybe has the same BPM as like the last round of the at least LN3 specifically, but it is still LN inverse. You don't have the luxury to release anywhere in your LNs if you're having any break. Like this even qualifies as a break.
Yeah. Also, by the way, this is like the calmest section throughout this entire chart. So you kind of want to take advantage of resting your releasing here in a way. This is like the only point of the chart where you could relax. And now here comes like this crazy LN chord stream. Inverted chord stream.
If you remember from Dynamics back then, this is the densest section easily because you already see just chord stream inverted at its finest. And more burst to end the ending.
By the way, if you were paying attention, there was like a column 6, column 7 inverted trill in there. If you're gonna mirror them, if you're gonna mirror this chart, the focus is on your left hand at that point. You have to be careful. Have to be careful with this chart. And speaking of stuff that you have to be careful, we have Psycho Boost featuring Danny Brown, a chart by Star 7, Koichi, my angel Koichi. And this is our Ellen consistency pick. And unlike the other charts, this one has a considerable amount of break sections. Like actual break sections, not combo break sections at the very least.
Yeah, I think one of the more, well, I guess in comparison to like last week's Mappool, at least on the finals level, this is definitely one of those cases where I think if you played LN4, you might appreciate this more.
Yeah, like this is a little bit more reminiscent of what we basically had over the last round. Well, it is denser, obviously, but at least like even comparing it like in theory to let's say Rice 7 from earlier, this one is more like super heavy on the consistency part of the consistency pick, even compared to Rise 7, which was also the other consistency pick here.
Yep, you get some bits of rap going on. At least to some extent, easier LM patterning. But once you get to the more nitty gritty of the stuff, it goes right back into this.
Yeah, like these are funny stairs. Kind of reminiscent of what you would see in, let's say, LN 1 in a way. But the release timing for those LNs is more. It's at least like one timing snap, not an entire stair of releases at least. Well, now speaking of
And
stairs of releases, here they go.
Art Bass.
By the way, for being quiet, we're kind of enjoying the music here as well.
Yeah, it's a rarity to see song choices have been absolutely just unique in comparison to like most modes. Even I think for 4K Mania specifically has been very rhythm game core. This is the far and away. This is just different.
Like, from round of 32, we had like some super calming music. We had some like lo-fi jazz. We had some Chinese love songs, and then we have this. The song choice in this World Cup is so good.
Also, some of these, I think I failed to mention as well. Knowing the patterns by itself, it has some reminiscent vibe to Penguin from like from
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is it is in a way not very release heavy, but it certainly has that vibe to it.
By the way, before we forget, this is OD7. This, like, I remember back in the day. When I say back in the day, like last year, stuff like this would be on OD5 or OD6.
Nope, 7 baby.
So yeah, stricter LN timings, and you have patterns like this. A bit, the LN players are being asked to be a bit more precise with their releases now.
At the very least, the LNs are quote unquote easier by density. I guess the different release timings can contribute to that as well.
Yeah, like this is so demanding. Like this ending section is so demanding. Okay, a bit of a reprieve with the outro. So at least there's that. And this should end this 4-minute marathon of a chart.
Yeah, that's the last of the regular LN death of the number 5, that is. Now, we're approaching to a different round this time. We're entering the death of the hybrids here. Hybrid 1 is going to be Discoloration by Senjes. I might have butchered that pronunciation, so my apologies. But this is the generic hybrid of the Grand Finals, and let me tell you right away, if you thought LN bias was an issue for finals, maybe this one is very prevalent.
Star rating of 9.29. This is EX territory for if this was last year. Oh my gosh, the density of this chart. There you go. It just hits you like a truck.
Yeah, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna cheese that, even you're a Rice player.
You are not cheesing this chart at all. Now here comes like super tight Rice bursts, and then do an L and stair transition. Like some of these is like timing healthier.
Even then, the Rice patterns are just semi-bracketing as well. You don't get any luxury to do any sort of cheesing at this point. And even the LNs right here, you got shields in between them.
Oh yeah, the sweeping LNs, by the way, they're not like sweeping across your keyboard. They're sweeping across both of your hands. Like both of your hands are doing sweeping LNs. The amount of control you need there, I've said it enough.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be sweeping everything in this pool, so no surprises if you're gonna see this one as well.
Well, what I do hope is that the matches are not going to be sweeps.
Oh
Your
yeah,
hands will be swept,
absolutely.
but not the matches, hopefully.
Well, I'm. I mean, there's definitely not gonna be a sweep because considering the rice mix, everything, everything in the rice 5 to
Yeah.
rice 7 territory.
That's so funny. Okay, now here comes like, welcome to Bursty Chord Stream to this noodle section.
Yeah, I mean, you might came across this in like very various. Oh god, yeah, the
Ooh,
sweep.
these
So
first.
you might came across this in like many various 7 key PP farm charts, like 9 stars to 10 stars at this point. I think this
Yeah.
was on one of them. So this is definitely like as generic as it could be for like one of those PP
Oh my
high
gosh.
performance charts.
That
Like that bracketing on
that's
that.
that's a 200 BPM bracket right there. That's not even the BPM for rice too, by the way.
Well, I'm afraid that you're gonna be seeing a hybrid 2 in disguise, a death of that fast hybrid for sure. But funnily enough, 200 BPM is not even the fastest of the hybrids. So
Oh
let's
yes.
jump into the next one.
Oh yes, whoever decided that the BPM of Hybrid 2 is gonna be 220 BPM cited, ano?
Well, 20 BPM increase.
Oh my gosh. Like the keyboard torture continues with this chart.
Yep, if it wasn't said already, the cited by Sakuninado there. Chart by Sankan, which is actually the second Sankan chart from like ever since back in Sepia by Shiki in Final 32 back, which is quite the long way back.
It's so funny. Like you have a chart around 32. Your next appearance is in the grand finals. You know this showing the duality of man right there. Okay, this chart is this chart by the way. I cannot comprehend the pattern of this chart. What I'll tell you though is that the LNs are mostly vocal dumpy-ish, and then the chord themes are focused a lot on the percussion. At
Bracketing to mini jack.
But this is a beautiful chart. It's so evil, but it's so beautiful as well.
Even as conventional of as a fast hybrid, Charter being Sankan makes it steer towards to the unconventional route.
Yeah.
The patterns are just not as a very typical conventional bracketing. Like that one is just complete hell.
You had like a full-on 220 bracket to a chord jack to a text section to whatever this is. Like the structure of this chart is really well made. Again, like these charts are very intentional with their patterning, and that's why I've been telling like if you're gonna look into this spool, try to look at it in the editor. And now here comes like here comes this section. Oh my gosh.
I think Sankan can be forgiven that this is only 6. This is even lower than the LN5 we saw just before.
Okay, like this is a stamina test as well. Oh, split bracket. That's a bracket with a mini jack.
Not in this time of era where the ending is actually spiky.
Like if us that was a grease bracket. Ugh. Like if us commentators already bracing this way, how much worse for a player who's sight reading this?
Well, definitely not. I mean, Philippines in particular doesn't want to have the assignment on this one in particular.
Oh yeah,
we saw the match before.
We know, you know, if you know, you know.
Well, I guess that's wraps up the hybrid 2. Moving on to the hybrid 3. This is our technical hybrid, and what do you know? It's quite the wild one. Let's see what this is. Yep, that was our Hybrid 3 Omega Protocol by Genesis himself, the man in the flesh, the O2 Jam charter back in the day. We actually got that in the bag, Hybrid 3. This is one of the also originals for your hybrid picks. This is the Hybrid 3. Gonna have to give a little bit of quick shoutouts to the credits here. The illustrator, Envy and Celes. Graphic designers by Zeth. Storyboard designers by Nofi. Design quality assurance by Narekat, Alex Tungs, and Low Graphics. Video and design coordinated by Sakura006. Again, this is the man in the flesh, becoming a music producer, or maybe at least may have produced back then, but didn't know that we actually have that now.
I remember there was like a Genesis song like last year or 2 years ago, if I remember correctly. It's just really cool to have like a full on original, really. Like, by the way, like first time I listened to this, like this was so fun. This was so fun to listen to. Anyways, about the chart. About the chart.
Yes.
Yeah. It's death.
Well, it is you got the sweeps coming, and you get some manipulable Ellen walls before that, and I think it's gonna cost some people like really bad accuracy if you're actually cheesing throughout. But that's pretty much the death that for the rest of the hybrids anyway, because next one is not gonna be a walk in the park, unfortunately.
And if you are not careful, you might as well say
the next one.
Next chart? You might as well say Sayonara. A chart by E.T. Blocko. EX1, the hardest rice pick of this entire World Cup.
Okay, a little bit of a backstory. For this one, I thought this would be like the Rice 5 or Rice 6.
Yep.
It turns out we are completely dead wrong.
Well, there you go. That's just the first of many reasons why this is not a Rice 5 or Rice 6. The song choice definitely leads to that impression though. Oh, that's a funny verse. That's a funny verse right there.
275 BPM. Mini jacks, by the way.
By the way, this is 7.13 stars as well. So this is PP Farmable XD.
You're gonna get the same BPM as Plastic Rise from Porky. That is for sure.
Yep.
Maybe.
Oh my god, these funny bursts. The mini jacks as well. Wait. Wasn't this a term we look at the editor and you said there was like a 1/5, 1/8 polyrhythm somewhere in this chart?
Yeah. TLD time.
This is a break section. This is the break section.
TLD anchors, baby.
Oh god, those are funny long jacks.
Okay,
here we go. There's a polyrhythm.
1/5 to 1/8. Those are not 5-note chords. They are offset enough to fool you.
Yeah, like again, this chart is intentional. This entire poll is intentional. Their patterning. Look into the editor, guys. Please, like especially if you're practicing this chart section by section, I'd suggest really looking into the editor
Yeah, by looking in the editor, you kind of don't say much. Also, who put these Ellens in my rice?
Indeed, but that's what E.T. Blocko does. The ETST
E.T. does that.
By the way, this speaks for Billy Jack. Yeah. By the way, this is the same polyrhythm. This. Ew. I think that sums up our reaction like from the time we were watching this.
Well, that was the last of the rice pick, being the EX1. I can't say the same for about the Ellen pool, because we haven't got to see quite a bit of a carnage of Ellen picks there from at least for the past 5 Ellens. It has been fairly easy, quote unquote, but we got Fake by Periquitas featuring Aitsuki Nakuru. This is charted by 3 people: Ruka, My Angel Koichi, and Kobe. 10.68 or maybe 69 according to the description, but no breaks. That's all you're gonna get.
Yeah, like if like the Mappool selectors or the people who are behind like everything you see in the grand finals pool thought that the Ellen pool was forgiving enough. So here comes this chart. You have timing hell, you have coordination, you have like super dense patterning. This is LN charting at its peak.
You're gonna condense every single LNs into one. If you think of any LN pattern, sweep, releases, everything, maybe core jacks to some degree, you've got this.
And again, there is no breaks at all in this chart. So if you're playing this, you might want to do it as early as possible in the match if you don't want to waste your stamina. Or like if you don't want to run out of stamina easily. Because I could just imagine if this card gets picked like super late into a match where your stamina is already shot and then you put into this pattern. Yeah, there you go.
What is this Angel Fall Staircase doing in my chart?
So that's a double typhoon pattern. We don't even call it tornado anymore. We don't call it tornado LNs anymore. We call it typhoon LNs.
Yep. Yeah, like I said before, you don't get any breaks. Very little even. Maybe even some of the introductions are also relative.
Yeah, there, that's the break. That's the break. That's the entire break section right there. That less than a second section of no notes, that's your break.
Oh yeah, also yeah, LN Inverse, if you thought Hemisphere wasn't bad enough, this would be the one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This chart is so demanding.
In every single aspect, you're gonna have to get through this and maybe groan at your opponent. Why are you picking this to torture?
But like, we still have 2 more charts. And I can already feel my stamina getting drained just watching. How much more if you're a player with the pressure of winning a match or winning a point, maybe to save your campaign or to win everything?
Well, I mean, this is the ultimate finger twister, if anything. It just never ends. Like, there's no breaks in between.
Yeah. Okay, now that's a break.
That is finally, and then
that's the break.
Back again.
Yeah, like it's as if like this is a break section, but no, you're gonna have one hand holding on your keyboard. Well, that was 2 seconds. That was like around 2 seconds, and that's your entire break for this 3-minute, 50-second chart.
Well, LN's galore, EX2, that is.
This is 30. Oh my god.
Oh, even the.
Oh my god.
Well.
Like those are uneven holds. Okay.
That was
finally
last of the LN pick. Last of the LN pick.
Finally, we can breathe, or not. Because we still have one more regular pick here. We have Camellia featuring Nanahira Finorza, a chart by Call Paka, whose birthday is approaching as far as I know.
Oh, well, upcoming birthday. Maybe we get to at least spend a couple days to say happy birthday later, but not yet. But not yet. Actually, the third instance of a Camellia, we've got Magical Very Magical World and Ghost Girl back in the finals. Although the star rating is much lower, you can see why this is in Grand Finals.
This, like, put this in a different tournament, this is automatically a Grand Finals tiebreaker. Just put that into perspective.
I mean, I guess. It is a tiebreaker, Lang, after all.
Yeah. Oh my god, the 225 bursting coin stream!
Those are Those are 1.8 by the way, 450 BPM tops stream wise.
We're not even a quarter into this chart, by the way. We're not even at the densest possible section of this chart, and you already throw these patterns.
I mean, I guess EX2 and EX3 can qualify as a tiebreaker. Take that for what you will.
Okay,
What's a jack?
here we go. Oh my god, these LNs are so dense.
225 BPM, core stream with burst.
The jacks.
Wait, what was that shield?
Yeah. And then here comes the score stream. Those were non-symmetric stairs right there.
Okay.
Ew, that burst! Ew, that burst!
Wait, are we at Rise 7 now?
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Okay, alright, man. 225 BPM. You're gonna do this the entire way through because this is not even we're entering the second half now, just about.
That was just the first half.
Wait, what? What is
Oh
this
my
shield
God.
17?
Okay, finally a break, but this is Avril. Break section, but it's Avril.
Unfortunately, this is Avril 17, not 15, not 16. We already seen those before. And you get back into this.
Ugh, that
Yeah.
not the
1/3.
friendliest bursts.
Okay. Well, I dread to think why Chiwi got like a 938k. Maybe the reason why is the last third is just funny. Maybe.
Okay, finally a part of it. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind.
Okay, well,
You thought you're gonna comprehend that section? Nope, there's a funny burst. Okay, now some more of these. Yep, nope. No time to analyze the core jacks. Here comes some more bursts.
maybe this is the one that people are gonna find out why this is in the X3.
Oh my gosh, even this transition. Okay, here we go.
Yikes! Rest in peace. The shields in between as well. That's not friendly.
The score stream.
The space bar as
That's a double
well.
thumb spacebar jack. That's a double thumb spacebar jack. That was
This is-
fast.
Oh god, we're still last minute maybe at this point. We're not done yet.
Oh my god. We still have like a few more seconds. Oh
And
my
boards.
god.
Alright, in between the shields as well. There you go.
Oh boy.
Wait, why are you doing this? What is course?
I'm speechless, man. I am speechless.
The ending is not even. Oh my god. That is the
What-
tiebreaker, right? Guys? Guys,
How was it? Wait. I just saw the story. This is below 10?
this is lower than very magical world
Yeah.
finals. This is a tiebreaker, right? I mean, you couldn't have gone like any harder than this. Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, you got one more. We got
Yeah.
one more, and before we do anything to there, maybe
Yep.
sir, do you want to have some thoughts before we move on?
Well, now we have shown 123 charts, specially made for this World Cup, over 7 showcases, including this one. And as what Mifa has said, all that's left is the one chart that culminates about 10 straight months of hard work from a very diverse team of very fun people. Here's the Osimania 7K World Cup 2026 Grand Finals Tiebreaker.
Take it.
So pure, so deep.
We entered the year 2026 with the 7 key World Cup tiebreaker for the grand finals, and we have ended up with Seth 26 by Lore. This is a chart, a collective effort by 8 or 9 people: Mochineko, Blocko, X-Neko, UND, Ulysses, BK Win, X-Neko, Remuring, and Ruka. Give a very, very like shout out efforts there. I'm just gonna have to get a quick shout outs to the massive, massive amount of effort being thrown into this to end it out for the Grand Finals Mappool Showcase. We have illustrators by Sardines and Brushen and also Nepura. Graphic designers by Polytetral and Pantulu. Storyboard designers by Mune, Binary, Kiryun, and Kurois. Design quality assurance Narekat, Alex Dung, Low Graphics, and Polytetral, and as always, video and design coordinator by Sakura006. Also, can I mention that this is absolute one way to end the cinema.
By the way, I have to mention this considering like the trend of other rhythm games. It cannot be a rhythm game tournament or event of some sorts without the boss song featuring Doomed Yuri at some point. If you know, you know.
Well, there is some lore into it, but I'm not gonna delve into that. We're not gonna delve into that for sure, but it's very well written before in the 10 months in the process of the making. And also, knowing that lore hasn't been featured anywhere, this might as well be the featured artist for the time being. We might have a news post up there maybe. So don't quote me on that, but this is your tiebreaker for the 7-key 2026 Grand Finals.
Well, we gotta talk about the chart, of course. First things first, how is the SR of this chart below EX2's SR?
How is this also on par with EX3 on finals? That is also kind of funny to think that this is very, very underrated. Also, shoutouts
this calls for a rework. This calls for a rework.
Immediately.
This calls for a rework. Oh my gosh.
Immediately. Like, if you mention about the storyboard there, I did not expect that we're actually having some Leaf inspirations, because we probably could have gone with a warning that there might be some epilepsy there, could have gone with seizures or whatever, but unfortunately we don't have that. But there you go, there is your last chart for the Grand Finals Mappool, the tiebreaker in the flesh.
Well, Kobe, I think sent me a correction to what I said earlier before we started. Apparently it's not 123 fully custom charges, it's 111. apparently. Some of the charts are edited pre-existing charts, but I think those pre-existing charts were not even uploaded to the servers before pooling, or I should say charting started. And
Yeah,
as this and I said, like, the 10 months figure that I've said is not a joke. uh,
it
the
is not.
process the process for pooling for this World Cup actually started way back in May, or at least that's when things were announced that we're moving towards 2026. That isn't even 3 months after the end of the 2025 World Cup. Tails, Kobe, and Yi, three MVPs. Really, they've managed this pool so hard. I wanted to give them a shout out because all of their effort needs to be appreciated. Like, they deserve your round of applause. They need
Yeah,
they deserve all the love they do. Same as well for
yeah.
all of the custom charters, all of the playtesters who were part of this 10-month process. Not the smoothest 10 months, I tell you. They are very
Oh,
rough. They have been
they.
very stormy, as turbulent as what you saw on the storyboard from the Grand Finals tiebreaker. The Grand Finals tiebreaker felt like it's like a cry for help from the Mappool selection
Yeah.
team. It sounded like that. But
Yeah, the
yeah,
amount of effort has definitely not gone waste at this point. It has been very, very well appreciated, knowing the map pool selectors, the team, the mappers by themselves as well has been contributed to some degree, even though they haven't, like, maybe there are some that haven't probably haven't made their made the map pool selector, but they definitely have having extensive feedback into the map pools for
yeah.
sure, and it actually results into this, which is my account. This is like one of the best of the showings of the 7 key World Cup.
And as I said, the song selection for this World Cup has been absolutely diverse. I feel like genre-wise, I feel like this World Cup is like the most diverse we've had in terms of song choices. Oh my gosh, like someone should compile a playlist with all of the songs that we've had in this over this entire pool. But anyways, I think
Yeah,
we have to do some of the obligatory stuff. Um, you have to do some of the obligatory stuff. Just a reminder, if you want to support all of the teams that are left in the tournament or have been eliminated, but you still want to show them some appreciation, the Osimania 7K World Cup 2026 team support banners are up on the OC store, and they will be up only until before the Grand Finals weekend actually commences this Saturday. You can buy multiple teams banners, your favorite teams banners, maybe your favorite players country banner. You can do so, by the way.
yep,
The
yep,
teams
and
need all of your support.
yeah, absolutely. And of course, if the winning team gets to win the 7 key World Cup 2026, you get to keep the banner for a much longer time. You get some bragging rights out of that. And your time is very finite. You only have a little bit of a more than few days to do so, because before the banners is out of the store. So do check out and purchase one if you haven't already. And this has been Oceania 7K World Cup 2026 Grand Finals Map Pool Showcase. This has been Mifa and Serve. We'll be signing off for the week. Stay tuned for the next matches and take care.